Hello everyone, in this quick how-to video, we're just going to show you how, as a club leader, you can apply for club events using the Clubs Hub system. So again, although you can use the Clubs Hub on your phone to browse events, browse clubs, register for things and manage your profile, when it comes to applying for an event or applying for a club in the system, you have to do that from a laptop or a computer because you have to submit digital forms. So first thing we got to do is get to the hub system. So that is campusvibe.ca/SAGBC. You can obviously get to the hub as well from the SAGBC website. So now that we get to the system, we have to know who you are and that you're an actual George Brown student and club leader before you can create an event. So first thing is log into the system. So you use your George Brown email address and the password that you created for the system. Most people use their George Brown email password as well. And now I log into the system. We're going to show you 3 different ways to apply for an event. The first way is the easiest. The second way is the second easiest. The third way we don't recommend, but it's available to you if you want it. So as soon as you get to your home page in the system, go to the top right, click on My Groups, and that'll bring you into the My Groups page. When you get here, click on Group Leaderships, and then if I want to create a club event for Test Club Kieran, I would do it here. If I want to do it for Test Training Club, I would do it here. So for either one of them, if I'm doing it for this one, I hit Dashboard, and now from my club dashboard, let me just make sure this group's approved. Sorry about that. So from my club dashboard, when I get here, I can click the Group Events button, Create Event, and off I go. That is scenario number 1. This is the one we hope that you stick to. Scenario number 2, after you log into the system, you end up on the home page. You can go to the clubs page, search your club out, and then get to the home page that way. Or right from here, you can look up your club name, Test Club Kieran, for example, and then I can pull it up. And from my club homepage, I can hit the dashboard button. From the dashboard, I click Group Events, Create Event, and off I go. Okay? That is the second and easiest option. The third option would be from the homepage when you log in. If you find yourself on the events page itself, you will see a Create Event button. This is specifically about creating an event on behalf of a club or on behalf of a group. So if you hit Create Event from here, never go for general event. If you apply for a general event on behalf of a group, it will be denied and you will have to start from scratch. So always hit Group Event if you're applying on behalf of a club. So Group Event, you have to tell the system what group you're doing it for, Test Club Kieran, and that gets me to the same Create Event page. The only time you would ever hit General Event is if you as an individual are applying for an event, not you as the leader of a club applying for an event on behalf of the club. Very important distinction. Once we get here, if you're not sure what to do, you can read the instructions by clicking on the clickable link to read through what the instructions are related to an event. And then once you're ready to go, you hit, club event on St. James, in this example, I hit Create Event, and then off I go. So we have an initial event application that we use to populate your event homepage, your event management dashboard, and your event preview window in the events calendar. So for example, in this one, it's a 5-step form to get started. You have to name your event, test event, I'll put in, for example. You have to tell us a start and end time for your event, including dates and times. If you have a club banner associated with your club page, it'll show up here. If you want to have another thumbnail image specific to your event, we highly recommend you put it here, because then we'll use that to showcase your event on the event calendar. You must also fill out the Who Should Attend field. So you could say as easy as anyone or any GBC student. You can say whatever you like, but you must put something in here. And then you also, it's highly recommended that you use the checkboxes to tell the student association what type of attendees you expect to attend. Also, mandatory field is your event description. So if you have an event overview, registration details, links to other websites, whatever the case may be, make sure you type it in here and then use our formatting tools to jazz up that content. Again, you can use tables, you can use links, pictures to other websites, whatever it is. Then we hit the next button. This is where we're asking for contact information for the event organizer. So again, based on your user profile, we're going to auto-populate the name and email address that we have on file. But if you want to change that contact information specifically for this event, then we suggest you do so here. And if you want to add extra information, you can here as well. If your event has any event-specific websites or social media links, then you can copy and paste the links in here. For Instagram, it's the account name itself. If you don't have one specific to your event, you could even use one specific to your club because they create follow buttons for social media on your event page. Then we hit the next button. Very important here that you tell us, is it a drop-in event and people can just save the event? Does it require an actual register button? That's register on this website. Maybe you want to put in capacity or a price or a ticket name, you can do so. Or finally, if you're doing registration on Facebook or Eventbrite or somewhere else, then you can use the registration on external website option. Then you can copy and paste the link into the Eventbrite or to the event page here. If you happen to be using ShowPass for a ticketed event, don't do that here. We have a very specific place for ShowPass specifically. Hit the next button. No matter what type of event application you're doing, always read through the instructions. Sometimes you're going to see a link to a specific form that you're going to have to copy and paste into another tab and fill out to couple together with your event application. So always read that as well. And then you must tell us, is the event on campus or off campus? And depending on what you pick, you might see different options. So for either one of these, you have to put in a location name, Gym A, Campus Pub, that's in plain text. And then you can also, we must highly recommend that you add a full address as well. So you put in a full address, that'll create a Google Map image for your event too. As you're coming through, you have to tell the student association what you need for your event, computers, TVs, projectors, whatever it is, and you can type in plain text any extra details. Same thing with promotional materials, tell them what you need, and then you can type in extra details as well. What are you providing at the event, and then type in extra details, maybe around alcohol or whatever it is, and then we hit the next button. This is the final page of your initial application. We want people to be able to find you when they're looking through the events calendar. So when they look through the events calendar, they're going to be filtering using the tagging system. So you need to tell the system, how to associate your event. So pick one from event type, on campus, social on campus, workshops, or seminars. Pick one category as well. If your event is tied to a specific academic program, then you can associate yourself as such as well. If not, just use none. For promo tags, if you want people to find you when they look up clubs fair, dean's orientation, or any of these other options, then you can pick those as well. If you have a ShowPass ticketed event, then make sure you just copy and paste the event URL in here or your ShowPass ID number. Finally, if you have any questions, notes, or suggestions for your event that you need to pass on to the event approver, the event coordinators, then you can type that in here. Your last option as a group event is if you want to make your event private just to the members of your group, then you can select this button, which will not publish the event in the main event calendar. If you want everybody to be able to see your club event, make sure this is not selected before you submit for approval. Once you submit for approval, you're going to get an email from the system telling you what your next instructions are to get approved. And also when you hit the submit button, let me just catch up here. When I hit submit, the next page that loads up is my event management dashboard. So in the email, you'll get instructions. You might have to come into your event dashboard and fill out specific event forms. For example, this is where you would do it. There's always a chat box feature so you can ask questions to get your event approved. And if you ever need to change anything for your event profile, you can view details, hit these pencil buttons to go in and make changes to your event specifics. Same thing with requirements, location, and so on and so forth. To get your event approved, you're also going to have to view the terms of agreement to agree, to take responsibility as an event leader. So you can pull that up and hit I agree. And once you do so, you'll get added as a signatory of that terms of agreement. As soon as you get approved, you will get another email with further instructions. If you have any other questions, please let the clubs team know at the Student Association, and have a great day.